All right, here we are. Here we are. Okay, so hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Mancave. You can see how I just meant them. I just meant them food for here. So let me start by introducing myself. And I'm sure there's a soft face you're expecting to see. She's not here today. Now, men them, they here today. So my name is Kingsley Bature, and I will be your host on this edition of Man Cave. Man Cave. And I have with me on my right, okay, introduce yourself, sharp.
I am John.
This guy is fake. Please, for the record, note that he's fake.
Let me just say the way I
Okay,
have to say that.
say.
I am John, by the way. I don't like to call my son name because it's very long.
Wow.
If I say it now, it just break everywhere. Let's just call
Is there one that will go beautiful?
If you want to say that. Okay.
All right. And on my left, I have.
My name is Kingsley. It's Kingsley. So there's no confusion. Toby.
If you can hear us clearly, please type 111 in the chat. Wherever you are watching us from the shores of Nigeria or abroad, UK, UK. I can see somebody that is watching Mancave, but she's not a man. All the way from Abuja where she went to explore things. Please, everybody, help me celebrate Kingsley Bature. I can see her online. Yeah, I can see Mary Basti. Yes, thank you. They're letting us know that they can hear the sound. So 111, yes, thank you. We can see it. And all of you that are online, we just wanted to take this time before we really start the show for what we're discussing today to just celebrate all of you that take the time out to watch us, right? All of you that take the time out every Saturday, 8 p.m. You are here, you are following. Rachel, we see you, we celebrate you. We thank you for having the confidence in us to keep the date with us. Last month, we also had a lot of people participate in the Zilly challenge that we hosted on this show. And at the end of the month, we had a couple of winners. We had a couple of people winning, and we had those people walk away with with prizes, and they walked away with cash prizes, gift prizes. I celebrate you. I celebrate you all. Sometime in the show, maybe when sometime in the show we can. We can actually announce them. I heard that. Okay, good. The person that won the first prize, I think it was Ruth. Okay. Timora will correct me if I'm wrong. I will get the correct information and we'll announce the people and then we'll celebrate them if they're here online. Yes, if they're here online, we will celebrate them accordingly. But we thank you all for celebrating and for joining the challenge. We had almost 200 people joined. Almost 200 people joined the challenge, and that was very interesting. And another one is on this month. Another one is on in October. It started this week, and just join in. You never know when, as you participate with us and keep the challenge, we will let you. You will just follow the app, and then you will get the information that you need. So. Thank you. And that was just us welcoming you. Thank you for joining us. Today, there's an important question that is the title. And I have two guys that are going to help us dissect it. On my right is a very married man. He's very married. He's searching the evidence of marriage. Because when he was a promising young man, there was nothing to touch. Everything was like straight. It was like, ruler effect. But now he's a married man, there is evidence of roundness. And on my left, there's a very promising young man. Very promising. In fact, the very promising young man. So he's on my left. So that way, they are going to bring a balance to the discussion. And what are we discussing? We're discussing, are you man enough? Are you man enough? That's an interesting question. Are you man enough? And interestingly, guys, almost every time I hear that question, it is usually a woman that is posing it to a man. So while they are discussing it, maybe the women on the chat can help us, give us their own explanation of when they say, are you man enough? Or that man, no be your mates, they do so and so. Or do you understand? When they say those things, what are they really saying? Right? So maybe we take so while we're having this conversation, the ladies can tell us when they ask a guy, are you man enough? Or when they ask a guy, can you handle me? When they ask, can you handle me? What are they really saying? So ladies that are watching, please join and let us have your point of view on the chat. And let's talk to that. Are you man enough? Let me start with you, KJ. What comes to your mind when you hear that conversation?
Okay. First of all, you can see that I am trying to show my small approach.
The something that you are doing. Okay. If you man enough, some parts
That would be the right hand. But like you rightly said, the question, are you man enough, usually comes from the opposite gender, the females. I can't answer as a female because I don't know what they mean when they say are you man enough. But I'm going to answer as I interpret it. I feel. So when they come and ask me, are you man enough? I think as a challenge, you are daring me. You're asking me, am I sure I can handle you? Am I sure I can?
What can you do?
What can I do? What's another word for handle? How can I not control? Not control.
Can you manage it?
How can I manage you? Do you understand? That's how I see it. Now, often than not, when you ask me that question, and honestly speaking, when anybody asks me that question, the ego in me kicks in.
Yep.
So I want to answer yes, because what you like, I don't understand. Why do I say that kind of question? Of course, I'm not enough. Like, I don't get it. Now, at that point, the truth of the matter is, I'm not even thinking where she's coming from. Do you understand? I'm just trying to
prove something.
So that's how I feel when a lady asks me,
are you man enough? Okay.
For me, I think the best thing that comes to my mind is what can I do to impress you? So I think of it in that light so that I'm not falling my hand. Then that's me very honest. I always think of what can I do so that I don't fall my hand. Then in thinking of it, I'm trying to put myself in a very high position. I'm putting myself in a very high position. I'm saying, okay, now they are asking me this question. What are the things she cannot afford? That's me thinking about it. What are the things she cannot afford? Where are the places she cannot go? What are the things she cannot do? That's how I think about it first.
Yeah.
Then in thinking about it, I try to solve those problems with my response. So, wherever she's coming from, or whatever angle she's coming from, I'm acting defensive. I'm not attacking, I'm acting very defensive. So that's how I see are you man enough for me.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
What if she asks you this question in the first time, like you're just seeing her for the first time? You don't have the time to accept what she needs or what she needs. You understand? And she just thinking for the first day, and she's like, are you man enough? How do you
Well, if she asks me on a first date, right? Are you man enough? I will pause because on the first date you are still accessing.
Okay.
I will not rush.
Okay.
Because if I rush,
You rush.
yeah, I will not rush. So I think on a first date though, I will wait. I will hold that answer dearly to my chest. Maybe on the second date, or maybe when we get home, when I'm calling back to say, have you gotten home? I cannot be giving my answer. Because I don't know the first answer I will give that will be wrong.
So your first answer will be, let's see how it goes.
Something like that.
So this is interesting to me. It's actually interesting to me because I'm asking, I'm really trying to see what's the mindset out there. How are young ladies these days thinking? How are young guys thinking? Because to me, when you ask me the question, are you man enough? My thoughts go around certain things. First of all, I'm asking, who is a man? So that question, for example, if you are here and you're online, those of you that are online, I can see you. Can you type in the chat? Let us know who do you think is a man? What makes you a man? What makes you a man? So in my head, that's the question I'm thinking. When you say am I man enough, the question I'm thinking is, what makes me a man? And what makes me who is a man? What is, are you asking if I am a man? Before we now get to the next part of that question, to me is, am I enough?
So
let me ask this question. The person asking the question, what is the person interpreting as, are you man enough?
well, I think it's relative though.
Because some people can be interpreting it as money, some people can be interpreting it as sex, some people can be interpreting plenty interpretation to, are you man enough?
Okay.
So I think it comes from who is asking. Now for you might go back to say, what do you mean by, are you man enough? So what if the person now come and say, what can you even afford? So the person is coming from money angle. There are people who are doing, can you handle me? Can you handle me on the bed, on the other room? So we have to understand and find out who is asking this question, okay, before we even try to analyze ourselves. What if what we're analyzing is not what the person is saying? What will be the answer? So we are saying before you ask me, am I man enough? What is your definition of being a man?
What's the definition of being a man or being man enough?
Being man enough, yes. So we have to find out the person that is asking the question.
So basically, you are saying that the context is depending on who is asking.
Now,
So I don't want us to go directly into individuals, right?
Okay.
Let's approach it from the holistic point.
Okay.
When the female gender asks, are you married? And what's the general, what can we say is the, I know when we narrow it down to individuals, okay, it differs, you understand? But what I want to ask, as much as I would also want to give my opinion, what's the bottom line? What's like the foundation of being a man first? Before we can even go to the, individual, are you man enough for me in this aspect? The basics, what's a man? Who is a man?
Who is a man?
You understand?
Who's a man?
Now, if I want to give my own two cents, first of all, we have to address the fact that being a man is different from being a male.
Bam.
Biologically, when you have this XY, XY chromosome, you are a man.
Okay, biological or not.
All right? When you have the XX chromosome, you're a woman. You're
Yes,
a female.
Yes.
When you have the XY, you're a male. Now, think that what makes a man be a man, in my own small knowledge, here is responsibility. How you handle the responsibilities
Okay.
that are in front of you.
Okay.
So I would want to think, given that this thing, that when the woman is asking me, "Are you man enough?" In my head, it's like, "Okay, I have these responsibilities.
Can you handle them?
What kind of responsibility?
It will not different. It will not depend on who is that.
We need to know what this responsibility are. Responsibility can mean different things.
Depending on the person, right?
Depending on the person. We are still saying almost the same thing. As to say, the person who is asking the question, what are they really asking? Because for us, being guys, our first show up is being masculine, right? We want to show that our pride.
Yes.
You know, show that our pride. I got this. Then in getting this, if we are dealing with smarter women, we might be handling the wrong issue. Because smarter women are waiting for you to respond
Before they will hit you.
before they hit you. But for the general, quote and unquote,
You're trying to be next.
but there's nothing to ask question. You just enter friend zone
Straight up.
straight up.
Yeah.
No. That can that you are opening is a very serious can.
So we need to be knowing this
This
so that we know the answer we are giving sometimes. Because our answers determine where we are being placed. That's how I see it.
So you're saying that the ladies wait for your answer, and when you give an answer, they immediately play.
You know when somebody just I want to say something, but we all know what this answer is. When somebody just stay by themselves and post on their status, my friend from plenty decades. That kind of
Post my friend from plenty decades.
what of that?
But it depends on the lady. Like, my friend indicate the lady might appreciate.
What does that mean?
What if that's the girl's definition of being man enough?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I will come back here. I will take it up from here. Let me take a few comments. Anita says, by the way, in case you don't know, she's the owner of the show. She just, on the go. She's on the go, so she's not here, and we're just holding the phone. Oh, good. Anita says, when someone asks, "Are you man enough?" it's often a rhetorical or provocative question that can have different meanings depending on the context. It may imply a challenge to one's masculinity. She continued, or a test of courage and capability. However, it is important to note that making assumptions based on gender stereotypes can be problematic, and it is always best to have an open and respectful conversation to clarify what someone means when they ask such a question. The meaning can vary widely from person to person. And we are doing that. So that's what ChatGPT is saying about this question. Right. April says something. He says basically a man was created to take charge and was therefore always held responsible for all that he has in his immediate environment. See, there are some things that they are raising that I am just noting down. I've spoken about friend zone. I've noted that one down. I've noted down take charge. Take charge. Take charge. Please write it down. Take charge. Said a man was meant to do what? To take charge. Friend zone. We'll come back to these things. So people will explain all of these things. Right. And then we go further. Christy, obviously a lady. Christy said, for me, I think the word man enough is beyond money. Okay?
Wow.
Christy, probably, I'm sure you say Christy is a good woman.
I didn't say that.
No judgment. Yeah, right, good. So it goes a long way. Sometimes it can mean the man's ability to help her fulfill her purpose. So when she says, "Are you man enough for me?" she's asking, "Can you help me fulfill my purpose?" It depends on what the purpose is.
Why not feeling purpose? Somebody is trying to help you. You know?
No judgment zone right here. There are men. It's Mancave. We can say it the way it is. All right. There's no judgment zone. You say, please.
So this is me saying fulfilling purpose. You're trying to fulfill purpose. Be the nice guy. Try to, what do you want to do in life? Whereas deep down inside you, there's something else that you're looking for.
You have a mission.
But because she's fulfilling purpose. It's not diverting your
own purpose. No.
Wow.
Okay, so we are guilty of this thing. If we tell ourselves the truth.
Okay, so let's tell ourselves the truth.
Okay, yeah.
What you feel like purpose? Or that brought you.
Wow.
I'm not trying to understand how you fulfill purpose without knowing. Is that purpose you can fulfill without knowing?
No, but the question is, what if money is not her biggest problem?
Is the
purpose.
The purpose.
Okay, we'll come back to this thing, purpose, because these are very interesting words. God honor Elliot says, "Are you man enough?" means, do you have the balls to do whatever the person is referring to? We should perish that thought that ladies determine or are in a better state to say if a guy is man enough. That's Ephraim. Ephraim is saying that ladies should not be the one to be the determinant of whether a man is man enough.
Okay.
That's Ephraim. I wish Ephraim is around. If he's around, please, guys, let's send him a link. I would like to hear his comment. I'd like to hear his thoughts of it, because this is a very serious position he's taking. Paul says basically, man enough means I want to know your courage and capability. Rachel says man enough in the sense that what do you have to offer? What do you have to offer? As a man, what do you have to offer in terms of money? What do you have to offer in terms of your wait now? What do you have to offer in terms of money? What do you have to offer in terms of your virality, your manhood? How manly are you? What do you have to offer in terms of influence or authority? What do you have to offer in terms of your ability to handle my dreams? What do you have to offer? See, there are plenty. What do you have to offer? So
it means you CV now.
Yeah, that basically asking you what's your CV?
Okay.
What do you have to offer?
Yes.
Mancave says, in a relationship context, are you available to satisfy my needs? Can you give me attention when I need it?
Your needs.
Mancave's answer, final answer, is that man means meeting all needs. Is that
meeting?
Is that work?
That
So, but because culturally, we have seen that somehow it seems as if the moment you say you are a man, already there is a price list that has been arranged for you, that your ability to take that list to market and come back with the goods is what.
So, well, if I'm going to answer that, I'm a historian, so I probably will go back to history.
Yes.
In the olden days, the proof of a man's what is how your masculinity, how well you're able to provide, how well you're able to. Men of the hunters, you go to the bush, you're hunting or you're farming, you're strong physically. The woman is just there, you're literally meeting all her needs. Do you understand? But the society has changed. Society has evolved over time. Right? These days, we now find women who are even doing things that the men don't say. should I say cannot or should do.
Mm.
You understand?
So that means that what that tells me is that the definition of manhood has shifted. And that's something that worries me. But I would say something. There's something that's on my mind. Yes, go ahead.
This is my own problem with the ladies of nowadays. Okay, the ladies of nowadays often do not even know what they want. Ooh.
Ladies, please, if you are on the line, if you are online, ladies, you will come from YouTube, Facebook, please. There is a perception that most ladies do not really know what they want when they are looking at men.
Yes,
they don't really know what they want.
When they really don't know, most ladies do not know what they want.
Wow.
So if you ask them, they will just sum it up to money. Do you understand? When you hear a lady talking about, when you literally hear an average Nigerian lady talking about or asking a man if he's man enough, often than not, it's coming from the place of money. Do you understand? If you take a woman who is smart and well exposed or something to see beyond financial needs when she's asking that question, are you man enough?
Wow.
Okay. Just
Okay. Jimoski said nowadays women don't allow us to be heard again. Sometimes I even wonder if some of them get manhood. So the reason that these thoughts you raised is troubling to me is because I'm seeing that a lot of the definitions or a lot of the what's the word? A lot of the criteria or criterion for the English people that is used to adjudicate on what makes you a man is external. It's based on your ability to do. So what you are able to do is what they will now say, okay, this is what proves that you're a man. And isn't that subconsciously how all of us have grown up? Such that nowadays, like something like what Jimoski is saying, and what I can't remember who it was, whether it was Manasseh or Ephraim attributed to, is the fact that men are now under so much pressure to prove certain things, but women keep raising the bar. Because our culture used to say that the man, as the head of the family, provides for the family, isn't it? Provide for the family. Now, men are hustling to get jobs, but there's women empowerment all over the place, and women are getting a lot of the jobs, especially in our system. Women are getting a lot of the jobs. Women are helping themselves get jobs, and women are now providing more. So the question now is, if the woman is providing more than you, the man, are you still the man? Based on the context of our culture, you are not to, because it's based on your ability to provide. So is manhood defined just based on your ability to provide? Because if it is, then there are many women that are the men in the home. So that's one context there. Before I say anything, Amora, I don't know if you are a guy or a lady, please let us know. You said there's no one right answer, and everyone has their own definition of what it means to be a man. Some people might say that it's about physical strength, while others might say it's about maturity. So if this is true, which is what seems to be coming out, and that's why I asked that question: what makes you a man? What makes a man a man? If what Amora said is true, that would be the reason why we're getting all of this. Okay? To say, I identify as a man. So a small boy can come and say, I identify as a man. Why? Because I can provide for my family. Even a he-goat can come, because these days there are all other animals. There are a lot of animals that have Instagram pages. Animals that have Instagram pages and they have following.
No.
So they have influence. So they can identify as a man. So it's
I have a question.
yeah.
I have a question. Do you think that both genders are not?
By the way, Amora is a lady, so she's giving me Amora is a lady. So that's a lady's perspective.
Right.
So they're saying for them it means different things. Somebody has talked about your ability to provide financially. Somebody has talked about physique. Somebody has talked about influence. Somebody has talked about your ability to help me fulfill my dreams. That's what So they talk about capability, but what makes a man a man? Does it always depend on external factors or does it depend on internal factors? Please, guys that are online, if you know, let us know.
So, like I said, I'm asking a question.
Yeah,
This question might actually provide maybe an
Context, yeah.
context to this. Okay. Now, I feel like, do you think that both genders are not really ready? Or let me not say ready. They've not come to the realization of the fact that the society and culture has evolved in the sense that before now, men were seen as the providers.
Yes.
Women were seen as those who take care of homes. All right. But now in today's world, men are really no longer providers. Women can also provide as well. Do you understand?
So that knocks that one out.
Mhm.
So if a woman is providing, does that make her a man?
So as a man, you don't have to think beyond providing. I don't know if you get my point.
I'm listening.
You don't have to see yourself. Do you think? I feel like most men are not ready for that reality to see that. See, time has changed. You get. It's no longer me just providing. It's not my only responsibility is not just providing. There is more to it than bringing money to the table. Do you understand?
Okay.
On the other hand, for the females, it has also gone beyond that. The men are really not staying as the providers as well, and you sitting back at home. Women are now doing more.
Okay.
I don't know if you get my point.
I'm listening.
So I feel like both genders are not awakening to the reality of the societal change and how the society has evolved over time.
Let me chip in there.
Yeah.
So I think we as men, or let me start with men. We as men need to start thinking deeply in the sense that these women are evolving. Why are we not evolving?
Problem.
That's the problem. So a woman's need increases. We take the pressure and still remain in the same place. Why don't we increase our capability to still earn? Right? Now, I feel like if her needs are increasing, it means that she's pushing you to be better instead of you thinking of yourself as a mediocre, going backward. That's what I think. So we are feeling pressured because back in the days, why do men marry many wives? The more they work, the more they work harder. Okay, right? They provide more. But these days, I think men are becoming more lazy. So the women see that we are lazy. They go and do the job for us. Wow. So that's how I see it. Now, I feel like men these days need to start thinking beyond, or we should stop complaining and start acting and start doing the work. Because if we do the work, I think they will respect us. That's how I see it.
So I hear you, but there is the part where I might disagree.
Okay.
Because your capacity differs from the next guy's capacity.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I agree.
So if we both meet similar women, let's say we meet the same woman who expects more from this woman is expecting more from you, this woman is expecting more from you. My capacity is here. His capacity is here. This guy can do up to this point. You can do up to this point and then you understand. But the lady is looking for more. If this man, this guy decides to break this thing, don't you think it will lead him to doing things that he's not meant to do? So
This particular part now leads me to the question: what is the standard of manhood? What's the standard? Because if we are always going to define who we are based on what we are able to do, we are going to be continuously under pressure. We're going to keep chasing. We're going to keep running after something. We're going to keep living all our lives trying to prove something.
I will die.
Oh, no, men already died early. The statistics show it. Men in Nigeria die very early. Do you understand? Men in Nigeria die very early. You know, guys, Jimothy is asking for the link to Colin. Please, let's send him the link to Colin. Rachel says, KJ, you are right. Some, but not all. Jimothy says, I think the expectation. Okay. You need to be financially stable to be man enough. As a matter of fact, man does not always mean male, right? Man does not always mean the male gender. I stand to be corrected, but that question would generally mean, are you mature or responsible? And I would say it this way, Ephraim. I didn't want to go into the dynamics, but you raised a particular question. You raised something that really touches somewhere in my mind. He said, and maybe the term man has always been used to refer to all genders as can be seen in the Holy Bible. Right. And that's one conversation I usually like. Now, when we go there, context, what is man? Man, as used in the Bible, have actually three different words that represent the term man. Of course, English is not the native language of the Bible, but one of the words actually means the species. So man was used originally in the Bible. One of the words meant the species, right? Which is the human race, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Now, the second use of the word was the gender, which is male and female. Now, the third use of the word is the word that actually encompasses manhood, which was where the scripture says, and the Lord God puts the man in the garden to tend and to keep it. That word actually is the same word that we use for husband. The word that is used for man, that is not the gender now. So there's the gender different. But that word is the word that means husband. That means the man that is what? The man that meets certain criteria, certain level of wholeness or maturity. So in the context of the scriptures, manhood actually does not start from the outside, it begins from the inside. So the question is, again, what makes you a man? I know why I keep pushing that question. Because culture has taught us different things. And you find out that so many men, I met a guy, he spoke to me, and I went to speak somewhere, and the guy came and spoke to me. While I was speaking, the guy was in the audience, and he asked a question. After answering the question, I recognized, I took note of him. He met me outside, he met me after, and I asked him a question. You know, he came to ask me a question. He told me a few things, but I asked him a question. And when I asked him the question, all of a sudden, his head fell. Nice young guy. His head fell. And I said, what's the problem? You don't think you are enough? He said, guess his answer. He said, he didn't finish school. He doesn't have a job. So automatically, his self-worth, and well-dressed guy, but his self-worth, just a question I asked, he hits a particular point, and his self-worth dropped. So it just tells you that a lot of times, a lot of guys are just putting up a show in order to get that target that they're trying to get. Mm-hmm. But inside, do you really know who you are? What makes you a man? Let me leave it there. Jimoski is backstage. Jimoski, we can see you backstage. Can you
Good evening, guys. Good evening. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear
I can
you.
hear you clearly.
Okay.
Please go ahead. What are your
Okay.
thoughts?
Okay. Here's my take on this whole issue. And for me, I feel that question sound like and they are the women trying to challenge us. That's the way I see that
Hmm.
question. You like they are trying to challenge us. How can you look at me ask me that question if I'm a man in love? So I see it like a challenge, but there's no
Mhm.
problem, Sha. There's no problem, Sha. We will definitely prove to them that we are man in love. So for me, basically, I think it depends on maturity at times. It depends on maturity because you find out there are some people feel that maybe if you are not financially strong, it means you are not man enough. Mean you cannot take care of their business need. They are rich. But now, when women are saying you are not man enough, there are a lot of things that follow it at times. Sometimes it may not be your financial at times. It may not be they don't need your money. You may not be man enough
Hmm.
in giving them attention. You may not be man enough in your spiritual life. Some may believe that you may not be
Mhm.
man enough in the other room. So
Hmm.
it have different stage of what the divine. And two, it's very hard for you to understand women because you may think that you are the son of Bill Gates, you have everything to make a woman happy, but you will get to a woman that you will even your money, your standard will still be higher than whatever you have today. So that's the level of women you are. You may be a guy that probably you are staying in one room and you may be man enough for a lady. You may be a guy that probably stay in Banana Island and you may not be a man enough for a lady. So that's the way the stage is for. But for me, basically, I feel it has to do your maturity. How would you look at issue? How would you respond to issue at time when she really expect you to come in? How will you take care of your responsibility? You don't you need to be a man enough when you take most of the load for your head because there are some people that they believe the woman is working and making more money, so they just feel that everything should be 50-50. Definitely she can tell you that you are not a man enough. In no matter what we do as a man, we should also play the key role. We should also be upfront in whatever we are doing. But like I said, for me that question is a challenge for me, and I want to prove to the women that we are still man enough. We are not weak men, we are not lazy men. We are still making change, we are still making those decisions that you want us to make. We are still making those different. We are still loving you women as the way we are. We are capable of making you happy. We are capable of being the best man you want us to be. And I can prove to you that we are still man enough. But what we need is your help, your support, and your understanding and your peace of mind to make us complete. Thank you.
Hmm.
Two questions. Huh?
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you. Question one is, why do men always find or feel the need to prove a point?
Hmm.
That's question one.
Okay.
Question two, when you come face to face with a woman who has conquered money,
What else do you have to bring
what
to the
else do you
table?
have to do? Because in our head, most of us, we just when you ask a guy, can you take
I
can you money
don't know. The first thing they think
our
is about
bank account? Do you understand? But what happens when you are faced with the one who has conquered the whole money thing, and you when you ask that question, and of course, I mean, like, if you watch most of our answers, I mean, yes, I have the money. For those who have the money, for those who don't, not try to pay. You understand? So, what do we do when we come face to face with women who have conquered money?
Let me say something.
Please say.
How do you respond to this same question
Mm.
if it's a guy that's asking us a question?
He's a guy.
Yes.
Oh,
So I feel like we use the word maturity. What is maturity?
Okay.
Someone who is mature and you can be mature traditionally.
Okay, so if we're going to pull out the stuff so that we can help some men out there, if we're going to pull out the stuffs to say, what are the things that make you say a man is mature? Ladies on the that are online, you can also help us with the things that you say makes a man mature. So we have said that most men think that it's about money. So let's assume that you as a lady, money is not your problem. What would you say is the character that makes a man mature? So let's try to pull it out.
So there are men who are quote unquote traditionally mature. What they know how to do is they do their own style with the environment in which they grow. They follow certain traditions. Why some men do things the logic way. They think white is white, black is black.
Okay.
But in traditions, you need to follow certain way of life, culture. I would say not to do the Western thing. Now, if you compare both men, someone who is trying to use the Western culture and somebody who is trying to use maybe more traditional culture, you will say someone who is using the Western culture is not mature. Sometimes we will say they are not mature, that he doesn't understand life.
He has not seen
He
anything.
has not seen anything. Why, if women who are smart, who have been exposed, meet
Exposure, yes.
meet traditional men, they will tell them they are not mature. So how do we define maturity when we get to this place?
Sorry. Is maturity not how you react to certain things at the time? Your reaction to situation.
Okay, so let's drill it down.
Yeah.
Your reaction to situation. What determines how you react?
How we react exactly.
What determines how you react is, I think, who you are, where you're coming from.
That's what I'm saying. When I keep asking this question from the beginning. I refuse to answer it deliberately. What makes you a man? Now, I'm waiting for drawing it out from what you. So your reaction is based on who you are. So the question is, when we are talking about men, right? Who is a man? Now, for the men out there, who are you before you think about your bank balance? Because for me, I went through a season in my life where I had to answer this question for myself. And I think men, most guys out there, every guy really battles with this question. And sometimes, if you do not come face to face with yourself, you will actually live your life like a what's that word? What's that word normally used? As if you have imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, where you're going to be something that you're not. So it's either you're feeling more of yourself than you are, or you're feeling less of yourself than you are. So the imposter syndrome is like you're just trying to be something that you are not, or that you are actually something and you don't even know what you are. So who is a man? What makes you a man? You are brought up when you say the way you respond to situation is a product of who you are. So who are you? Better still, who have you become? A lot of us are a product of the culture that produced us. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Now, if we're a product of the culture that produced us, what is the ideology of that culture that produced us? And the person that is produced, is that person who you need to be? So every man must do what? Must go through that journey of what? Of self-discovery. So if a lady comes and tells me, oh, you're not man enough because I want to eat in a 5-star restaurant and you can't take me there, I said, that's for me. It doesn't shake me because that's your definition. What is equal be? The problem.
At this point, men just withdraw.
Yes, because she has just left it. Yeah. And you feel like, and in fact, even at that point where maybe it's even a case of you walked up to her. And then you now say, hello, baby. Baby. I like the way you're walking. I saw it from a distance, and I just came to. In fact, and that reminds me, a lot of guys don't have good pickup lines.
Yeah.
No, that was another. That was. We'll do that one. We'll do that one.
They don't have good pickup lines. So, guys, if you want us to do a man cave series where we're just showing you pickup lines that you can use for babes, right? I'm not teaching you bad things. I'm just showing you the things you need to be able to start a conversation. Pickup lines are just conversation starters, basically. Bro, do you understand? That's the course. That's the course. That's the course. But they're conversation starters. Now, a guy walks up to a lady, you like the lady, you like what you see about the lady, and I want to get to know you. And the lady said, I like how you look, but I only do hangouts or lounges in Banana Island or here. All of a sudden,
morale drop everywhere.
The promising young man that walked confidently to the lady, the moment he finds out one or two things that places her either in Banana Island or in Via or in Lekki, and you are saying you're not even staying in Lekki, you are staying But you know what happens? It drops the morale of guys. I've seen it happen time and time again. Do you understand? And why does that happen? Because all of a sudden you feel like, two things. If I can't meet Banana Island, it means that I'm not man enough. So I'm thinking, okay, how do I now walk back to my seat or wherever I came from? Because all of a sudden the leg becomes very heavy. And all of a sudden, guys even begin to track back. Guys even begin to, draw back.
Yes.
Find lady that probably likes you. The guys begin to do what? The guys begin to find excuse to say, she's not my spec.
But
because you can't afford, you feel like I can't afford her because she stays in Banana. I don't know whether she's staying with her or Banana Island. But let's not go there. Yes, there's one street near Banana Island. You'll be staying very near that.
Yeah.
But let's not go there. But the point is, you have to know yourself. You have to know yourself as a guy. You have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I know who I am. And one of the things that makes you a man is your ability to define what's my territory. In that place that somebody raised in the Bible, it says the man was placed in a garden. What is the boundaries of your garden? What are the boundaries that you have created around yourself that make you a man? Your boundaries, your territory, is the region within which you have influence. That's why it's called your domain. And the kingdom is like the king's domain, is the domain where the king has influence. What's the domain within which you have influence as a man? So that if a woman comes into that domain, she knows that, hey, maybe where I'm coming from, I am all of this, but if I get here, this guy is the king in this territory.
Yes.
Do you understand? Men need to have that. So it doesn't matter whether if it's big Q, you are saying, you're king, because your confidence is yourself. And guess what? Which is something a lot of guys don't understand, is the fact that ladies can smell this confidence. So whether you have the money to match theirs or not, there's an understanding of yourself that you have that somebody that has more money than you will bring themselves in order to do what? To enjoy the influence that you have. Something that makes you a man. The scripture says in that same place that Mancave raised for us, right? That same place, it says God put him in the center of the garden to tend it and to keep it. As a man, what blossoms in your hand? What your ability to give life to the things that come around you. So, like, who was it at the beginning? I can't remember whose name. Ruth or Udom or something. She said something that we started at the beginning when we were just chit chatting. When she talked about purpose. You may not have money. No. So there's something that's important, and this because I'm really passionate about it for guys. I'm really passionate about guys, right? Because I've seen it. I've been through it. I've been there. I've been in the place where I'm looking down on myself because of because of what I don't have. Right? I always tell people I am an introvert. Nobody ever believes me. But I am an introvert because I like to exist in my own space. I'm not an outgoing kind of person. But I have to face those things. I have to deal with those things. I have to face myself when I came to the point where I'm asking myself the question, who are you? There's a book that made such a difference for me. It's called When Men Think Private Thoughts. Amazing book. It brought me to the place where I was facing myself. I have to look myself in the mirror and know, hey, even if I don't have shishi in my pocket, I can walk up to any girl and have a conversation with her and walk away and leave her with an experience that makes her want to see me another time. That's something that guys need to get. But it comes from a place of what? Knowing who you are. In fact, she doesn't even need to know your bank balance. But by encountering you, she had a feeling like, just like Rose or whoever said at that beginning, this guy has a sense of purpose. And guys, let's get to this. See, guys, you need to understand, the fact that I don't have money today does not mean I will not continue to have money. Why do we do that to ourselves? Because it makes ladies look us less. And sometimes it even shows just from the way we walk. What's your domain? What's your territory? What's your sense of what presence do you carry? What presence? When you are walking, even from seeing you and ladies can smell confidence. I don't know if you get, ladies can smell it. You understand? Let me stop. If you want to know what makes you want to know the full this thing, there's a course that I prepared and packaged, especially for guys. And that's one he was trying to talk about. Because I have the firm belief, and I have been there, done that, have the t-shirt to prove it, that any guy, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter your level, any guy can have a long-term healthy relationship with any lady, doesn't matter her class. Because the class is not what makes you a man. It's who you are inherently that allows you to interact with people across different classes. Edgar says, following my initial comment on women having to determine if we're not, if we're man enough, I have made man to actually be man enough at different levels. I will explain. We will wait for your explanation. King said, men are supposed to be strong pillars. We aren't meant to be shy. I beg, pick up line scare. It's true. Anita says, okay, this is number 2. The first chat says, man, he's patient enough. What makes a mature man? He's patient enough to reason with you even when the matter is complicated. Men these days don't like complications.
Yes.
Is it these days, or I think it's in our nature?
It's in our nature not to like complications.
So I think we use this defensive word. I want peace of mind.
Why are you calling it a defensive word?
Peace of mind. That's the word.
So men do want peace of mind.
What does peace of mind mean? No, but you know the interesting thing about peace, the problem is when people say they want peace, they are asking for different things. Because you can never really have peace when your peace is dependent on things you can't control. So you can be, that's the only reason why Jesus can be sleeping in the midst of a storm. Why? He's not worried about things he can't control. He's at peace because of what he can control. And there are a lot of things that men use to define peace.
Yes.
And they can't control it. You can't control the economy. You can't control what you trend on social media. You can't control women's expectations of you. You can't control what the content. You can't control all of these things. But what you must be able to master is what? You can control you. So when we talk about who's you in yourself, you must know this is. That's why I say that domain I talk about. You need to know that this is my domain, and that's something that men need to do. Men need to know how to set boundaries, because a lot of men just open themselves because, like you said, again, you are trying to, because you have a target, you are trying to meet. You just open yourself. So a lady that, for example, doesn't even know what she wants is placing demand on you. You are just going up and down because you want to do one or two. Zip up. Keep that zip up in the problem. Please. Because they are not my the truth is we need to become a generation of men that don't just think with their balls. Hey, there's sense up here. What if you think listen to me, a lot of men have a lot of problems because we think from here down rather than from here up. What's here up? Let me tell you what's here down. Here down, you have some balls. Here down also you have your pockets, which is your bank balance. Here down you have things that you can acquire. You have less. You know, you have less that you are jumping from one place to another. And that position makes you feel like you are accomplishing many things. Do you know how many babes I've trained along? That's a good definition of it. Yeah, that's so it means I achieve things. But what's here up? Here up is sense. Here up is the heart. Emotional intelligence. The ability to think that, hey, every lady that passes my front is not a sex object, please. She's a lady. She's a woman. She's purpose. She's a dream. She's a flower. She's a garden. So without sleeping with her, what more can you give her?
We don't know.
Let me finish the comments. It's only one. Imagine. Let me finish the comments and then we can round up. And in the sense, he can handle the ups and downs of life with grace and without breaking. Maturity, maturity. Yeah. King. Okay, we've read this. Queen David says, it's the smelling confidence for me. Yes, women smell it. Women can tell. Right? Sometimes they can even tell when you are faking it, but because of what they want, you don't go along. Man, guys, Ephraim says, pulling. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that a guy gets struck down by a lady, he will withdraw and then instead settle for ladies of lesser class. Exactly. That therefore means that you can turn up or down how man enough we are. But the question, Ephraim, that I'm asking, if he's settling for ladies of lesser class, does it mean he's not man enough because the other lady has a higher class? No, he should be. Each of us must come to the realization that in yourself I am enough. If you understand that I am enough, you are able to draw your territory and know that in this territory I can bring in whoever, higher or lower. It doesn't matter because I am. This is where I am. If I need to get someone that is higher than me, I can get her. Do you understand? Because it is a knowing, it is a confidence that I will say something here. I don't know that my wife has logged off, but I will say something here. The truth is, my wife was of a higher class than I was. Literally, she was in 500 level when I was in 300 level, even though we were 8 mates. But she was in of a higher class. So you know what it felt like in university for my guys to be saying, which kind of liver you get to they talk to somebody to talk to girl with the 500 level. To try to ask out a lady that is 2 years in school ahead of you. You know? She don't get time right. I don't know if you guys get it. So ordinarily, I should not be able to try that because guys like to shoot lower. So if you now say, oh, that one is not my spec, it's because you can't afford her.
Go to your work.
Go to your so but that is one that they can just you can use your brotherhood. But if you know yourself, there's no class that is out of your reach because you are a man.
I'm feeling man is here.
Oh my goodness. Efren would have loved you to call him. They sent the link earlier, but would have loved to come. But we have to close now. We have to close. Amara says pick up lines. Yes. Today is men's day out. Tomorrow, yes. Today is men's day out. Event is error. Most times it's necessary to impart good beliefs. Efren says Mrs. Bature is definitely blushing wherever she is right now. That the KB Queen said that the KB is spitting bars though. Efren, I gave that example as to that women are in fact not the deciding factor of being a man. Timora, KGB, please sharing past questions. Please keep sharing past questions. It's true. In past questions, we really have to go. But just to share, Timora, I don't know if you're there, and if you're there, if you can share with us the people that were the top three, just share the top three from our Zilly Challenge. You can put it in the chat so that we just celebrate them. The top three people that won the Zilly Challenge. I know you sent it to my inbox, but I came from somewhere else to just join the show. And by the way, who noticed that our set is our set is going we are rebranding, we are revamping, so they move us from different places. So this is another portion of our set, and so they just so we are just taking it like this. So in case you see me cleaning sweat and this is under construction, the place is a construction. Just the rough arm. Then he says, great show today. Thank you. Timora, please, can you drop that? Can you drop that? I don't need to announce the top three. Can you call in? Are you in the studio? Are you in? I can't find Timora. All right. So anyway, I would have loved to get our top three and celebrate them on set, but since the report was sent to me, but I didn't get it. So I will just celebrate you guys. Our top three for September Daily Challenge will celebrate you. Everybody give them a hand. And then, okay, tomorrow, 1 minute. 1 minute, we are closing now. Tomorrow, 1 minute. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, so
happy weekend.
Just the top three. The top three,
okay,
please,
so
we can celebrate them.
For the September sprint, we had 3 top winners. The first person was Amora Achibong. The second person was Peter Eti.
Yes, we celebrate you. Yeah. Next.
Yeah, Peter Eti was the second person. And the third person was Manasseh Etem. So Amora went home with 15,000 naira. Peter went home with 12,000 naira. With 10,000 naira. Peter went home with 10,000 naira. And then Manasseh went home with 7,000 naira.
How much did Amora go with?
Amora went home with 15,000 naira. Peter went home with 10,000 naira. And Manasseh went home with 7,000 naira.
Okay, thank you very much, Amora. And a lot of people, I think there were about 25 people that got different prizes. So this is just our own way of trying to keep the community, trying to support people, using the the Zilly app. So yeah.
Amora says thank you, guys.
Amora says thank you, guys. Congratulations, Amora. Congratulations. Thank you. Well done. So everyone, thank you for being on the show today. KJ, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for flying with me. And Mrs. Bature, thank you as always for always chipping in and letting us have your set, to make noise. Well done. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Yes. No matter how tall the okra should be, okra is I will don't think like that.
A man of many minutes. A promising young man. No, this can be done. KJ. Any last word? No. I'm fine. Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us on today's show. And we want to say, don't forget that common sense is not so common. Bye. Please always log into Mancave. Mancave, here just
like and share.
Like and share. So like and share, please. Share it to your friends, your neighbors, your enemies, and please, the special word for today is man enough.
Man enough, yeah. Man enough.
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope you got great value today. Our goal is to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and relationships. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, and like.